I used to think that girls wanted guys to be sweet and romantic all the time, that they wanted a lot of kisses with a lot of chivalry for us to go slow and basically ask them all the time what they wanted. In the times where I used to work in restaurants, there was a cashier that had an eye on me all the time and we ended up dating for a while. From what she told me, she used to date a lot of assholes before, so I tried to go more in this mood of being the nice guy with her, basically being the best boyfriend that she ever had. And I wanted to show her all that kindness that apparently she never experienced. And when we started to have sex, I went there with the same energy of asking for her consent, what she wanted, and trying to please her in every aspect possible. Going down on her or being gentle while doing it, for example. Because this is what women want, right? If you think that that is the right way, I'm telling you one time, man, go away of that mental prison as soon as possible. Because the only things that they can lead you to is to either getting cocked or a terrible sex life for you and for your woman. Because what happened to that girl after I treated her like that is that she started to get bored and actually feel a little bit disgusted by me. She even told my friends to tell me in a subtle way that she wanted me to man up, to take the lead and stop being so soft. And right there is when things actually starting to improve. So you need to realize now before it's too late that your girl wants you to sexually dominate her, but she won't tell you. And today I want to explain and integrate this concept in your mind and give you some actionable steps so you can put it in practice as soon as possible. First of all, if you don't know me, my name is Jesus Noya. I'm a Venezuelan sex coach with the goal of helping men to last longer in bed, become sexually dominant, and be more attractive. All this while avoiding the deadly mistakes that I made through my sex life. This comes from my years of experience dating in South America and the struggles that I had to go through, like premature ejaculation, performance anxiety, and non-existent sexual confidence. One of the main problems or friction that men have when deciding to sexually dominate a woman is that sometimes we think that depending on the girl, we need to calibrate how hard we're going to go. Like we shouldn't be that rude or dominant with certain girls. But if it is a woman that is bigger with more sexual experience, or if she has that sexual energy, then those are the ones that can take our sexual aggressiveness or wild side or sex potential. But the other prettier, smaller or angelical girls, we should treat those gentle. And this is a big mistake that even leads sometimes to broken relationships. Because the reality is that even the smallest, cutest, angelical, religious girl, she wants to be dominated by a man that can turn her in a sexual slave. As graphical as that may sound, it's the reality, and it doesn't depend on the girl, where she's coming from, or her background. It's basically the same rule for every single one of them. When I was in high school, for example, there was a really pretty girl that I met. She was 2 years older than me. I was in 9th grade and she was in 12th grade, and she was super pretty and shy and educated, and I really respected her. As I was very young, I was 13, 14, I haven't had sex at that point yet, but I was still a very horny guy, so I would engage of those conversations sometimes. And when me and this girl would touch any hot or sexual topic, she would engage on it, but it was she was outside of that environment, it's she didn't have any experiences. Oh, that's what I thought. One day I was speaking with my cousin that was in the same classroom as her, and I was telling her hey, I met this girl, she's pretty cute, she's actually proper shy and everything. I was basically telling him just how cute and shy she was. And then he told me something like, shy? Hell no, bro, that girl can take a lot. And I was like, what do you mean? Did you guys made it? And he was like, yeah, just a couple times because, I have a girlfriend and she was kind of jealous about it. But she has big boobs. And it was like, oh man, don't tell me that. In that moment, the virginal perception that I have from that girl totally crushed. It wasn't only that she wasn't a virgin or as shy as I thought. It was that she was getting heavily pounded by my cousin that wasn't even her boyfriend. And apparently she had a lot of sexual energy as well. So this really opened in my mind that even the pretty girl, that's sexual because she's shy, because she behaves in some way, because she tells you that she's not like that or that she's not experienced, even those they expecting from you to be a man that can take the lead in the whole sexual interaction, because that's the kind of sex that they enjoy the most. Less than that, even if they say they like it, it's actually lame for them. If you remember, for example, when 50 Shades of Grey, the book, was released, who were the women reading that? It wasn't hoes or heavily sexual women, it was mainly weeb and geek girls. Those kind of shy girls were the main readers. And in the same way as that group, there's a lot of similar literature for the same group of women. Believe me, I've seen that. So it's very clear that women want this, all of them, no exception. So why they don't say it? Why actually sometimes they say the opposite? If you're sexually experienced with women, you know that this is not how things work. Not in other aspects of life, and especially not sexually. And this is not necessarily their fault because they don't do it on purpose, or at least not a big part of them. There are three reasons for this. The first one is that women have different self-protective mechanisms when it comes to relationships. One of those is the social one. Women in general, they don't want to be perceived as hoes, as someone that is easy, or as someone that is openly sexual with every man. This self-protecting mechanism keeps them away from that as much as possible, even if the only thing that they can do is delude themselves. Even the OnlyFans girls have this. They say things like, I'm not available for every man, just for those that are able to pay the price. I'm actually something exclusive. Or that other girls are giving away their sexuality anyways, but at least I'm charging on that. Or that this is sexual freedom, or some BS like that. They're more of an extreme case, but even then have that mechanism of protecting themselves of social judgment. And a big part of that is not speaking about them in a sexual way, especially not with the guys that haven't made them feel like they can speak about this without being judged. So this is perfectly understandable. The other self-protecting mechanism is differentiating the guys that aren't a match, that aren't a good option for a partner. She's looking for a man that knows how to deal with women, that is skillful with them, that is going to know how to give her pleasure in every way possible. She doesn't want a guy that doesn't know any of that and then she has to explain it. He needs to know this beforehand, because if you don't know this, that means that you're a weirdo that has zero experience with women, or even worse, that you don't even have friends that can tell you this. It's not like she thinks that consciously, but it's a psychological mechanism that she already has. The second reason of why she won't tell you is because of social brainwashing. Nowadays, the main narrative that you're gonna see everywhere is that men should act in this cute and soft way all the time, that we shouldn't take the lead, or that's oppressive, or even rape, that we should be always asking for consent every single second and be like always cautious on every single movement. That has created a lot of fear and wrong beliefs in men, but it has affected women as well. Women say that they don't like dominant guys because that's oppressive, it's old-fashioned, and things are different now, and they like more soft guys that are openly emotional, that can connect with them, that are more romantic. This is what they say because that is what they think is right, and even go in relationships with those kind of guys, even if it's just to cheat on them in a couple of weeks. That's why we as men, we should only ignore that. If you have a girl that is into you, but she tells you that she likes more soft and gentle guys, don't fall in the trap of acting more like that. She's actually attracted to you for your dominant and masculine traits, and actually this attraction will increase if you just lead more into that part. And sexually it's the same. If your wife, your girl, asks you to be gentle, to go slow, that she would like you to be romantic, you can say yes, but you know deep inside that what she actually wants is to be pounded, like heavily pounded with this wild and powerful energy. Just a quick disclaimer, don't be stupid with this, right? If you go hard, you see that she's not enjoying it, okay, maybe slow down a little bit more and try to go with her pace. It's not like you're going to totally ignore her, that would be dumb, right? You have to pay attention to her reactions. But I wouldn't think about it that much because it's actually very clear when girls actually want you to slow down. And the third reason of why she won't tell you is because it's lame if she has to. As we say in the self-protective mechanism, she wants you to know this. She doesn't want to guide you. She wants a lover, a man, an animal that is able to make her submit. If she has to explain you with apples how you should be acting as a man during sex, is lame. That position of you as the dominant part is already lost. Things would be way better if you already go with that energy, with that confidence in yourself, that you're going to take the lead, that you're going to dominate. Anytime she teases you, you pass the test and make her submit even more. And that is when sex becomes that loving and great experience, because then she can just surrender to you and enjoy herself freely. So at this point, I hope that it's very clear enough for you that you should be sexually dominant. No exceptions and no any of this cute and soft BS. But how to start being more dominant? What are the actions that you can take to start going more in that energy? The first thing that you have to work on is on the self-control over your body and mind. When you're going to have sex, if you want to be perceived as this dominant and masculine man, you can't be all shaky with your mind thinking about other stuff, being anxious because things that happen today. You need to be totally present there and be the master of yourself. You have to go with ease in every single movement with not any kind of struggles or anxiety over it. You have to be confident with your own body and with the way that you touch her body. To achieve this state of control and confidence, I would recommend two main practices. The first one is meditation. Meditations would you sit down for a certain time and try to only focus on the present moment. And that is basically the main skill that you need during sex. To just be there totally focused with no second thoughts. When you do daily meditation, it's like you're actively training that part of your brain. Totally focused in the moment of making love with no second thoughts at all. I recommend it always highly because this is one of the main activities that made me go from that performance anxiety shaky frame that I used to have all the time to be able to last more than 30 minutes in bed. And when you're able to last that time, it's just way easier to be more dominant and be more confident in your movements. So it's one of the biggest ROI activities that you're going to ever do. The second thing that you have to do for the self-control over body and mind is exercise. And not any kind of exercise or sports, but mainly resistance training, basically just building more muscle. This is because when you're building muscle, you really connect with your body. For example, when doing reps and you're going to failure, when your muscles can't just do any more reps, you really feel that connection between your mind and your body. You're just 100% in there. You do this over and over again every day, and it's like you now start to feel your body totally. It's like you have more control over it. For example, I can move my pecs like it's nothing. I have felt them enough to the point where it's just easy to control them now. The same is going to happen to all the rest of your body. So when you're having sex, you feel tension or sensible in some parts, you're going to be able to address that. You're going to feel it. You're going to be more conscious about it. And this is going to give you more control over it to decide what you want to do. And also, a next big thing about it, man, is that when you're when you improve your body, even if it's just a little bit, you have like this big spike in your confidence that allows you to just go there with more of that dominant and masculine energy. That confidence allows you to go in there and feel like the man. So again, huge ROI, you can't neglect it. And by chance, if you would like to know what are the specific meditations, the workout routines, and every single little step in order for you to become more of a sexual, dominant, masculine lover, you can go and click the link in the description right now. There is going to be my program that is going to help you to achieve that as fast as possible. So go and click it right now. And going with the second part of what you can do to be more dominant is just going always with this wild and powerful energy. Just have those two words in your mind, wild and powerful. Basically, in the moment when you're having sex, when you're actually penetrating, if you want to be perceived as dominant, you have to go more on this hard and fast pace. Not in a brain-dead or unintentional way like a dog, but she has to feel it. Basically, you want to reach to the point when it sounds like claps and stay in that pace as much as possible. Slow down and calibrate when you need it, but try to go there and just keep it in that line for a while. Sometimes, and make this cautiously, even if she asks you to slow down for a couple of seconds, still go hard and maybe even faster and look at her reaction and how she feels. This is challenging for a lot of men because they don't either have the stamina to do this or the control over their ejaculation to not come when going fast. That's why you need to train both of these things. The meditation and the exercise is going to help a lot with it. And if you want to go more in depth, as I said, that's covered in my program as well. Just you going with the intention of striving for that wild and powerful energy is going to make a world of difference in comparison with you just try to keep it low key, slow and soft. So go for it and try to keep it there as much as you can. So with this, we have covered how to be more dominant. And one last thing that I would like to say is that if you have any kind of fear or friction in being more dominant with your girl, I understand you. I went through the same thing because I was kind of scared that she could see me as a misogynist, as a toxic masculine guy, or that our relationship could change. But the reality is that acting in that soft way was already destroying my relationships. It never brought me anything good. Sex was terrible for me and for the girls as well, even if it was following the status quo. So, being more dominant, no matter which one is your current baseline, is only going to be an improvement. To go totally guilt-free on it is actually the right decision. When you see how your woman start to experience that level of pleasure that she never had before, you're gonna be thinking, holy crap, I wish I've done this earlier. So I really hope all this has helped you. Go and watch this video so you can keep becoming a better lover, and I'll see you later.